So 3 goes to -1, no -1. 4 goes to -7, no -7. 5 goes to 0, and then 0 goes to 4. So it's 5, 4. I don't really care about the middles. I just care about where I start and where I end up. 6 goes to 4, and there's a 4 to 7. So 6 to 7. Again, the 4s kind of almost cancel out. I don't care about the middle, just the very start and the very end. So we're going to do another one. F of g of 0. So I'm going to start in the G1. I find 0. 0 goes to 0. And then we're going to do f of 0. And f of 0 goes to -4. Now I have g of f of 3. So I'm starting the f1. F of 3 goes to 2. And then g of 2 goes to 4. Then we're going to kind of just see what matches up. So f of g of x, I start in the G1 and go to the f. 0 goes to 0, and then 0 goes to -4, so it's going to be 0, -4. 1 goes to 1, there's no 1s. 2 goes to 4, there's no 4s. 3 goes to 9, there's no 9s. There's only one of them that kind of maps. I'm going to do g of f of x. I'm going to start in the f1 this time. 0 goes to -4, no -4. 2 goes to 0, 0 goes to 0. So we're going to have 2, 0. 3 goes to 2, and 2 goes to 4. So we're going to have 3, 4. 6 goes to 8, but there's no 8. So this one, 2 maps to 0, and 3 maps to 4. We can do the same thing on graphs. On graphs, we're not going to do like the whole function necessarily. We're just going to do specific points. So remember, the input of one becomes the output of one becomes the input of the next. So if I start with g of 1, I'm going to look at my G1. I'm going to find 1 on the x-axis and figure out what the y value would be. So that'd be 3. That output now becomes my next input. So I'm going to do f of 3. I'm going to find 3 on my x-axis on the f, and then find the y value, which is -2. So the answer here would be -2. F of g of 1 is -2. F of g of -1, so we're going to start -1 on the g, on the x-axis for the g, that's 1. That's going to become the input for my next f function. So we're going to do f of 1. So I find 1 on the f-axis, and that's 2. So that would be my answer. F of g of -1 is 2. Now we're going to kind of do g of f of 0. So I find 0 on the f, and that y value is 1. So that's now going to become the input for my next G1. So I'm going to do G of 1, which is 3. We already found that. So the answer of G of f of 0 is 3. We're going to do one more, G of f of 3. So I'm going to find 3. We already know that's 2. So we're going to do G of -2. We find -2, and that's 0. Okay, you have a few to try, and then you can check your answers. So I would like you to try these next 6 and check your answers using the key just to make sure you understand it before you try the required classwork.